Welcome to 100 Yards of Football this morning. This morning, we got our NFL Draft Prospect Special. Today, we're going to highlight the young man out of the University of Georgia by way of Clemson University, by way of him winning a national championship 2 weeks ago against the University of Alabama. My man, Mr. Derion Kendrick. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. We'll surely appreciate it here at 100 Yards Football. Everyone knows me as Vincent. Turn up from the 901. But I'm going to bring royalty up to the stage. He started what they got special down there in Tallahassee, Florida, back in the late 70s. Go check the stamps, check the background information. He started at school going to the Orange Bowls and playing for national championships. He's from the 305, South Florida, Delray Beach. He always reminds me of one thing. It's speed and football players that comes out of there. And most of all, what I'm really grateful for is that he's a gentleman he considered, and I sometimes argue with him, the greatest NFL draft of all time, the 1981 NFL draft. But this is what makes him special and why I'm so blessed to have him with me every week. He played in the National Football League. It's a lot of us now walking around that's playing in that great league. I wish I could have. But most of all, he played 12 years. Let this sink in your head before we get started. 12 years. That's special, man. I don't care how you look at it. To play that long with the same organization, that should tell you something about my man coming from Delray Beach, Florida, by way of Florida State this morning, Mr. Bobby Butler. How you doing, sir?
Great, Vincent. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good, man.
Awesome.
Let's get to talk about Mr. Kendrick, man. What you like about him and how he's going to perform at the next level.
This young man's from Rock Hill, South Carolina. And if y'all don't know where that little small place is, just drive up North I-85. And when you get into South Carolina, start looking for Rock Hill. Let me tell you something about Rock Hill. They play football in Rock Hill. So This guy has got good pedigree. He's 6 feet, 190 pounds. Probably I would consider that the perfect size to be a real corner, because he can do everything at the position. He can play outside. He can play both inside. This young man, listen, Vincent, when I look at a corner play, a lot of times some corners can only do one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
There may be a zone team, and he plays zone well. He can read the quarterback eyes, and he can play zone well because that's what he practices every day. But what I like about Derion is that he's a good man-to-man cover guy, and he's also a good zone guy, right? He happened to play into two great defenses in his college career, one for Clemson and then one at Georgia. Played with Brett Venables up there in Clemson, who's a genius of a defensive coordinator who mixed it up so well. He needs corners that can play both zone and man-to-man. And then he went to Georgia. And one thing I can say about University of Georgia, you can look in history. I don't care what year you look in. The Bulldogs, they play defense. I mean, it's been like that since day one. They play defense, right? And so this guy brings a lot to the table, all right? He's a patient defender who plays with good leverage at the line of scrimmage in press and downfield. You get what I'm saying? Because it's good to press at the line of scrimmage. But can you play and squeeze that receiver in that sideline and come up with plays downfield? All right? He can do that. He plays fast. He shows quick reactions when given a clear read, right? So when he see it, when he read it, bruh, he getting to it. In that run game, Vincent, when he read it, he coming downhill. I like this young man. Very aggressive, physical football player. And I'm going to tell you right now, to play defense at Georgia, and not only just to play defense at Georgia, but to play, 1 year at Georgia and be a starter and do what he did, bruh, he's Magic Man, right? He has smooth hips and transition. So when he's covering a guy and they go by him and start running deep pass, he can flop his hips over and get right into the play. He shadow receivers downfield extremely well. Always got his vision on the ball. I like that now. He's got his vision on the ball when it's in the air and looks to locate it when he's running downfield. See, a lot of people don't understand. If you play baseball and you're a center fielder, you understand that ball location is everything when it's in the air, right? And so when you're in a football game and you're fielding at the line, you're running, you're bumping with guys, you got to locate that ball. He does an excellent job with that, right? And I like that. And I like the way he high point the ball at the point of contact. I love this young man, Vincent. I love this young man. He's a real football player. I think everything that happened to him in the past as far as off the field is way behind him. And I say that because he's honest about it and he's truthful. He's turned his life around. I like this kid. I think he's a big-time NFL ball player.
One thing I like about him, he went to Clemson as a wide receiver.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Couldn't get on the field playing behind T. Higgins, Justin Ross, decided to move to corner and played at a high level. But when I do my research on him, is that he was a high school quarterback.
That's right.
Threw for over 5,000 yards.
That's right.
59 touchdowns, 6 INTs. Then he had 1,682 yards rushing. I didn't know that. So it's telling me that he is a super, super superb athlete.
He's athletic. That's right.
Then his high school coach, Stray Harrington, said he was the best football player he ever coached.
That's big.
A lot of people don't know the high school he played at. Javion Clowney and Stephon Gilmore attended.
That's right. That's right.
That's why you said Rock Hill plays football.
They play football.
But when I look at the young man, I like his versatility. I don't care what really happened at Clemson. Situations happen. But he was a mainstay in Georgia winning the national championship and being a good part of that national championship defense that's one of the best that's ever been in college football.
That's right. That's right.
And I like his production he had this year, 41 tackles, 4 INTs, 3 pass defense, and then 2 big picks in the Orange Bowl against Michigan.
And made him MVP of the game.
Can't say no more about that. And then when you look at him, I attended the Southwest Conference. Went to Arkansas 70-82. You might have heard of this young man because it was during your time. John Simmons that played at SMU. He got little Reggie Varnier that played at Houston. To me, really, Bobby, he really reminds me of James Brett at LSU. Little Ron Fellows that at Missouri became a Dallas Cowboy. But he reminds me a lot of your teammate, Kenny Johnson.
Hey, that's a good comparison right there.
He's got a lot of Kenny Johnson in him. And then I always bring up this young man that I saw, Danny Walters, that played at Arkansas, that went on to San Diego. Right. A lot of people don't realize Danny Walters came out of Chicago as a highly recruit same year I got there at 7-8. But Danny Walters played running back. Couldn't find no place on the field because he definitely wasn't going to play before Gary Anderson. And we know about Gary Anderson.
You got that right.
And they moved him to corner. And Derion Kendrick reminds me of that story right there. Danny Walters ended up playing at a high level. And Danny played a couple of years in the National Football League with the Chargers. Final words about Mr. Kendrick.
Well, let me say something real quick, Vincent, about cornerbacks. You will find that 80% of cornerbacks in the National Football League was probably quarterbacks in high school or wide receivers. Athleticism. You got to be very athletic, especially be a mainstay in the NFL at that position, corner. So, yeah, you get a quarterback, you get wide receiver. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this man is special. He was a 3-year starter at Clemson before transferring to Georgia. We talking about Clemson. He won a national title in 2018 starting for Clemson. And then y'all know what he did this past year. He's got 2 rings on his fingers as a starting corner on 2 of the best programs in the country. It don't get any bigger than that. And like I said before, he's able to get in and out of his breaks quickly and fluidly. He plays with very good pad level. And just like we talked about, and he's got the athleticism to do it. He's an amazing production he had amazing production throughout his college career at these two top programs. Now, at one point, they had him ranked as a first-round pick. He is first-round material, Vincent.
Yes,
but
sir.
I think he's probably going to go somewhere in the second round in the draft. That's just my opinion. But whoever get him, they got something. I like this young man, Derion Kendrick. I wish you all the best in your future.
Mr. Kendrick, like I said, he was a very explosive football player when he arrived at Clemson. They had him at the wide receiver position, moving the corner. As Mr. Butler said, played at a high level when he was at Clemson, then transferred over to Georgia. And to be honest, I was really watching how he would handle that transaction.
Right.
Because he was coming into a situation, really, Georgia really didn't need him.
Didn't need him, that's right.
So that tells me he had to come in, get accumulated to the teammates, and fit into their plan.
Right.
Not his plan.
Right.
The plan of Kirby Smart in that defense.
That's
and
right.
you saw what happened. They ended up being maybe one of the top 3 defenses of all time.
That's right.
So when I think about Mr. Kendrick, I think about watching his play. He played at a very explosive level, man. And really, after the Orange Bowl, I said, first round grade. Now, I'm not an expert.
Right.
But they can tell me that he can play at that level because he can play man to man.
Right.
So my final words about Derion Kendrick is like, the young man had problems. And I'm not a really rap music fan. But I like this young man because he brought a lot of energy, man. I just hated that he went to glory and he had some problems.
Right.
Like the great DMX. Let's get on the floor. We don't want what? Ride to that mother. Bounce to that mother. Derion Kendrick finna get ready to bounce and make some money in the National Football League.
He get ready to get paid.
Finna get paid. Just like the gentleman who just stood up, who was a first-round pick in 1981, first-round pick, 25th overall with the Atlanta Falcons. So if you like the video today, please come in and share it. We'll surely appreciate here at 100 Yards Football. Mr. Butler, any final thoughts about Mr. Derion Kendrick?
Hey, man, listen, he's a big-time ball player. He's going to be a big-time Sunday player. I can't wait to see him.
Special thanks to our producer, Mr. Logan Landers, for making it happen this morning. Join us next week. It's this young man, Mr. Butler. I know we got a lot of people out there that's really kind of on different networks giving their analysis. I even saw somebody in NFL Total Asset last night. Pretty decent corner. But when you talk about knowledge, ain't nobody like this young man right here. He got old school knowledge, middle school knowledge, and young school knowledge. And I'm blessed to have him here on 100 Yards Football every week as we break down these straight cornerbacks that's going to be entering the 2022 NFL Draft. So if you like the video, please come in and share it. We surely appreciate it here at 100 Yards Football. I'm Vincent Turner, and join me again today, the All-American, first-round draft choice, 1981 draft, 25th selection overall Atlanta Falcons, Mr. Bobby Butler. Y'all be blessed.